this week's broadcast, the Esports Tower Rumble in Valorant. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Esports Arena, and tonight we'll kick off with a best of three series between the Hawks and the Mammoths, and we'll close out this evening with a winner-take-all one-game series between the Stingrays and Barracudas. We're going to start out on our first game with Icebox between the Hawks and the Mammoths. I'm your host, Artie Rain, joined on desk by Jacob Palmer. All right, so we've got mix-ups of the rosters.
Yeah, it's basically been a continuation of what we've seen all wintertime long. They're just trying to see who rises to the top in terms of potential talent. I'm sure when spring sets in, we'll have the set teams and the set rosters and get back to our standard rumbles. And so now it's kind of a, they often use the term spring training, but this is more of a winter training, sort of, since we have our actual season in the spring.
It gives me kind of flashbacks to high school, because if you did a lot of high school sports, there was like a winter training session that you went through, and it was always very grueling going into the basketball season, and just thinking about that in the terms of esports kind of gives me some sort of anxiety, and I feel bad, but at the same time it's probably much more fun coming from the perspective of esports rather than just physically painful.
Yeah, you would think so, but sometimes if you're having a bad session and you're ranking down, maybe you wish you were having some physical exertion to get that stress out.
Yeah, that's actually very true. Tonight, those teams possibly hoping for physical exertion over mental exhaustion are going to be the Hawks, the Mammoths, Stingrays, and Barracudas. As we mentioned, the Stingrays and Barracudas are going to be in a winner-take-all best-of-1 game, but we're starting out with the Hawks and the Mammoths for tonight's Esports Tower Rumble.
And the Hawks and Mammoths players are being encouraged to play their off roles for this game. So we should see some players in some positions that we might not see them. I know we have had, some star duelists, kind of take up all the limelight, if they're playing some of those more flashy agents. But we might have some chance to maybe see some support mains or maybe step up and show us just how good they are.
I'm excited to see that possibility. Plus, I think forcing some players to play off roles is important, because there are whispers that we're going to possibly see some new players tonight, which will be very exciting. Best of luck to you guys, and hopefully you don't walk away in tears. And if you don't want to walk away in tears in the Esports Tower Rumble, you might want to keep some important keys of advice in mind in the form of Doc's Keys to the Game, brought to you today by Esports Tower. They're flank effectively. Spend and peek wisely, count cards, call abilities, and click heads. Score pro advice at esportstower.com, where you can improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up.
So we'll kick off game one with an added twist. All the players encouraged by the coaches to play off-role agents. So I just don't want to speculate any longer. I want to see what are the agents that these players aren't used to playing. Are we going to see maybe some more Yoru be brought out? That's always kind of the go-to, if we want to change something up and be a little spicy.
I mean, I adore some good Yoru play. I also find it very funny when there's two Yorus on both teams and both dupe a clone, and then you see them walk past each other and you know that they're both the real Yoru, and it's just like, which one's going to turn, or are they going to keep the honor going and just walk to the wall and wait? We'll have to see what these teams decide for their lineups here as we jump into Icebox for our first match between the Mammoths and the Hawks tonight. And do not forget that we are proudly sponsored by Vitamin Shop. Check out the amazing offers that Vitamin Shop has by scanning the QR code now.
All right, we're ready to hop into this match. Let's see what the overall picks are going to be for both teams. So we're ready to hop into it. Hawks versus Mammoths, first game of this best of three series before we get into that one-game take-all show match later on, where the Barracudas are going to come in and we'll see how they do. But right now, Hawks Mammoths on Icebox. And the picks and choices here looking pretty standard, to be honest.
Yeah, nothing too spicy coming out. We got a KO, Viper, Chamber, Sova, and a Jet rounding out the team for the Hawks. And then we have KO, Reyna, Fade, as well as Viper and Raze for the side of the Mammoths. I have to see how this first one goes. Probably going to just rush 1 point. And it does look like there was a quick request for a pause between the two teams, but it is already elapsed, thankfully.
Most players going with the Ghost pick. Half of them, actually, between both teams. 5 out of 10 have gone with that.
It's important to note the Frenzy did get buffed, and so if you're planning on doing some close range combat, which we did see some people with that Frenzy, it can be advantageous to pick it. It looks like we're going to have Crunchwrap Supreme go in with their knife just to see if they could suppress anyone through mid, and we do have almost the entire team stacked up through mid. So Crunchwrap Supreme doing the higher echelon mental gameplay here, preparing for this immediate suppress and identifying, I think, almost everyone? Yes, probably going to get everyone.
And they're off. They go charging through mid, up toward tube, not letting their foot off the gas pedal. Well, too much. Soren is actually going to go ahead of his team, try to clear out Kitchen. Almost gets caught out by Crunchwrap Supreme, is having to take a 2-on-1 at this moment, gets blinded, and that forces him back.
Pop Flash and a Molly from Viper are going to stagnate this push inside of Kitchen through tunnel, through tube, as we have Moonkeeper attempting to pick off 1 or 2 people there at the bottom of tube. I think they only identified 1 person, as we have some peeks coming from Soren back at this Viper, but some shots exchanged, not a whole lot of damage. Isagi's going to go down, though, and that's our first pick of the game, going on to the Mammoths from the Hawks.
Fire being exchanged between Moonkeeper, but he doesn't manage to land any sort of headshot on there, so a little bit of shakiness in terms of the gunplay as most of the teammates are still up, and the Mammoths are going to get their plant onto A.
KO did take a significant chunk of damage, though, from that exchange, whereas Moonkeeper's almost full health. They are going to... I believe that was Fade who did something to him, but I could not tell. Now we have Moonkeeper running this corner, but you had your knife out, and you're going to get punished. Rainbow lined up the shot and found the head click. It's just going to be 1 player standing now for the side of the Hawks, and they go down. Mammoths take round 1.
And there is time to bring out the knife. I mean, obviously, if you have a long way to go, you want that speed boost. But some of these players, you know, it's just like almost kind of a bad learned habit for them. It's just every 10 seconds. It's like a New York driver, you know. If they don't hear a honk, they have to provide it themselves. And if they don't see someone switching out to knife, you know, they have to. And it's kind of a bad habit that they need to get past.
It makes me cry anytime I see it. That's the first one of the evening. Will we see more? Yes, I'm blaming that on you having your knife out.
Well, we'll see if things can be picked up in the second round. As Mammoths go on to focusing on the same point they were able to take it last time.
And they are going in fast. You can hear all the stomping as no one decided to use that shift key. The Lear comes out, managed to take down 1, dismiss, and Sunny Lee's going to find the second as well, finding Crunchwrap Supreme and Moonkeeper. Plan to start at paint grenades going out towards spawn.
Ooh, but both of these angles are locked down, especially... Oh, but he jumps out and takes a long-range fight with Jaguar that he is not going to win.
I mean, if you're on the defensive end here, you really don't need to play for picks. You can play for time, and that's... Soren and Rainbow decided to go against that and just pushed out, recognizing there's only 2 left. And if you're playing far enough away from that shorty, you can pretty much guarantee survival. Now we've got a Phantom coming out here for Soren. And we don't know what the rest of Soren's team is picking, but we'll have to wait and see what the Mammoths have decided on. This is still technically bonus round for them as they've won the last 2. We'll have to wait and see if the Hawks decide to full buy. They should, technically speaking, be doing that, but we'll have to wait and see.
Right here.
And everyone's getting their lineups ready, or at least this Sove is. But it's not really going to tell them that much about who's going through B. As most of the Mammoths seem to be going back on toward this mid push, up through the tube that they took in round 1. And that AR difference is immediately going to start paying dividends, although might get caught out by those paint shells in Kitchen. That was looking a bit hairy. But so far, Hawks are up 1.
Crunchwrap going for a pop flash. I think he did manage to blind a couple, and Isagi is going to capitalize on that blind, finding 2. That is their 3rd kill so far. Only 1 down for the Hawks, 2 left standing for the Mammoths.
A deftly dance around mid. Jaguar finds himself split up completely from this Viper, who is all alone on point. So
last player standing.
Now this Viper is truly all alone. I was going to plant the spike, at least get the credits for that.
Planted.
Did an edge plant, but Isagi's going to pick up the 4th. No ace for Isagi, but that's okay. Now they have the opportunity to just get the defuse. They don't fully need it, so most likely going to turn it over to a teammate. Yep, and it looks like it's going to be given over to their KO. Crunchwrap Supreme getting closer to their ultimate as well. So we're going to go into round 4. Hawks taking the first round win.
So everything going pretty standard as far as gun choices are concerned. 2 rounds we expected the Mammoths to win, they've won. 1 round the Hawks have, they've won. So now is the true decider for both of these teams. Who's going to ultimately have the edge? Everyone, if they've played it correctly, should have their ARs and full shields. So any dent in that armor is going to show maybe a little bit of a lacking in terms of resource management.
I'm having flashbacks to a few weeks ago where we had a player constantly insist that full
Small shields, yes.
were not worth it, and chronically buying half shields. So we have Crunchwrap rounding a corner, taking out Soren, but Suni Lee is going to take them down in return. Soggy has popped the knives, and we are equalized as far as agent power goes on both teams, down 1.
Nade thrown out. Isagi moving around the corner with the knives. Going to exchange some fire, but Jaguar has it locked down with some great crosshair placement. Master is also going to get a pick, and so the Hawks go down to 2. As Mammoths clear out the point and get their plant.
Spike planted.
I will admit, as much as I despise the Vandal, I do know it is much better at long range and definitely easier to get an insta-kill, basically. So we have Moonkeeper rounding up on top the back of sight. Suni Lee goes down to Dark. Dark's now going to pull out the Hawk drone as we have teleportation getting put out by Moonkeeper, who's looking for an opportunity to get a peek here into the upper nest. They're going to exchange fire, but unfortunately only some damage done. Both now equally low. As far as the Hawks go, this is going to be a risky situation. Prowler's going to be taken down.
I don't think there's enough time for the Hawks to retake this, even with that 1 kill that Moonkeeper got onto Master. They're just going for some frags at this point, not going to find it.
1 enemy
So they do manage to take out Rainbow with the spike, but Mammoths still win that. Jaguar, ultimately, we're talking about the Vandal being longer at close range. The only reason Jaguar did survive was that he did get headshot, but it was with the Phantom instead of the Vandal, so.
See, this is where, you know, I understand you need to reassess your life choices if you choose the Phantom over the Vandal in every situation. I added the caveat of every situation because there are, in some instances, I feel like it's acceptable to go with the Phantom.
I think you also need to reassess your life choices if you're choosing the Vandal in every situation.
Yes! Thank you! I appreciate Jacob mentioning that because it makes me feel better. Ooh, that definitely gave away Usagi's location. They made some stomping noises. Gonna push forward. Don't think they recognized that Rainbow and someone else was over on their right. So down goes the Jet, down goes the Chamber for the Hawks, and we've got an operator from Dark. No, it's just a Marshal. Round in the corner, and they're going to be able to put out their drone. Haunt comes out, so their location's revealed. They got to be careful here. Prowler, double blast pack in. They're going to take a disgusting amount of damage and go down. It is just Crunchwrap Supreme left standing for the Hawks.
1 Sheriff and a complete dream. Problem is, he is going to get 1. I was going to say 2 of the Mammoths are very low on health, but he's only going to be able to get away with 1 exit frag. So that eco round going pretty much how we would expect, bringing it to 4-1 Mammoths.
Let's see if the Hawks can put this one back in their favor. Mammoths are back on bonus. We saw the last time when Mammoths were on their 3rd bonus round that Hawks managed to bring it back in their favor. It's just having the chronic exchange of getting 1 round win and then 2 rounds of losses does kind of make your econ a little broken and not in a good sense for the Hawks. They do have 2 ults on the line, Hunter's Fury as well as the KO ultimate. And then we have Empress and the Fade ultimate coming in for the Mammoths. Interested to see how all 4 of these ults get used. If it's used this round as we intro with Hunter's Fury. Crunchwrap Supreme finds Suni Lee shortly after.
Judging by the health bars of everybody, no one really got pinged by that Hunter's Fury.
It was a zoning ultimate.
At this point, but there's more than a minute left to deal with it out, so it's not like they were that pressed for time. 1, and it's going to be traded back in mid.
You know, I was trying to give Dark the benefit of the doubt, but you have to just throw out that time bank and really drill in the fact that, man, that was not the time for a zoning ultimate. I mean, yes, you're 100% correct, but come on.
I calls them as I sees them.
I understand. And I respect you for it. As the Haunt comes out, Isagi immediately deletes it. That does give at least intel that someone is there, but doesn't tell them how many or where this Jet is. Tailwind, Saki finds one, uses that cloud to try and give them some cover as we see a Prowler come out. It's on low ground, should expire without finding anybody. Just peppering fire to try and get some wall bang. Secrets finds Rainbow.
Down A.
Now it's a 1v3. Hawks have the agent advantage, but we've seen several situations in the past where esports tower players do clutch in a 1v3 situation.
Masters not giving their location away at all, and it's kind of making Asagi try to choose which sideline, but he can't really play for time anymore. He has the spike is dropped. He does manage to take one, and is just going to be happy with that one exit frag.
It's perfectly acceptable in this instance with the Mammoths being currently still up by 2, saving and not just dying with your gun. You can see a replay of that Jet picking up one, and back to the start now. Let's see what the Hawks plan to do. They still have KO Ultimate, whereas the Mammoths have 4 ults. They have Showstopper, Viper's Pit, Nightfall, and Empress all online. They could be playing for a really quick engage using that Nightfall. We'll have to wait and see what they decide to do.
Poison orb emitting.
Early smoke placed out in mid. It's not where the majority of the team's going. Instead, they're going to take Asagi out from the high ground on B. Throw the Nightfall out. That's going to force the Chamber to teleport back, but he still picks up one.
I think Chamber Hospital was the only one marked in that ultimate from the Fade, but having all that audio suppressed does make it difficult to realize how many people are pushing onto you. Mammoths have 3 standing, Hawks have 2. Crunchtrap Supreme looking from... Ooh, they did have their ultimate, and unfortunately they might get gunned down. So we have Poison Orb come out from Secrets just to try and give them a little bit of extra cover. It's a 3-on-1, and they are getting pushed. Util comes out at the wrong time. Jaguar is going to find their third, Jaguar. I've watched way too much Rick and Morty.
I just think of the car brand, so it is Jaguar.
Valid.
20 seconds until the next round starts, and it looks like Soren.
Ooh.
Well, Soren isn't a Jet, so this save round isn't probably, because they have a Knives as a backup, it might be a bit of a dent in their econ.
We did see them buy, but only light shields. The rest of the team had enough to buy. That's an oof situation there.
Scanning ahead.
Early dart thrown out by Dark. Not going to get a ping on anybody. It's quickly destroyed. Wall thrown out onto A, but it looks like that's mostly a bait as B is focused down. But that is interesting because now they're not going to have the classic wall lineup for B that everyone uses.
And it was instantly spotted out by the Hawks. They rotated immediately to counter this push onto B. Spike has started to plant, and Moonkeeper trying to pick up a better weapon and gets taken down by Soren. Soren also picks up Secrets. And once again, there's just Crunchtrap Supreme left standing with the Sheriff.
Flawless and not much of a dent in the momentum for the Mammoths. That is also going to bail out that slight eco mishap that they had. So all of them winning that, there should be no excuses now whatsoever, except for personal pride, that small shields are avoided.
And we'll have to see if you and I are left questioning choices of any specific player on the side of the Mammoths, whereas the Hawks, I'm not going to blame you if you end up having to go with light shields to make sure that you have a full gun by here. Nice in mid, does pick up 2, at least 2 locations are revealed. Isagi finds Master, Soren finds Crunchtrap Supreme, and we're equalized yet again.
Deploying drone.
Equal standing for both teams, but practically no one from the Hawks on A. There is that wall thrown out, though, and that's keeping the Mammoths at bay while the Hawks rotate back over to take some defensive sites. Jaguar uses their ult, as well as the Empress also being used for the Mammoths.
Ooh. That was unfortunate. Are they on low ground or high ground situation? And odds are they're on the high ground if they can get there. As we see Moonkeeper go down, Soren. Isagi's gonna find Suni Lee. They do destroy the Prowler, but they got Pot Flash Secrets here outside towards spawn. Soren's in that left corner. They use the Leer, but it's ultimately going to be Asagi and Secrets going down to Soren and Rainbow.
Now the lead opens up to 5 whole rounds. A nice final pick by Rainbow. Paired up perfectly with the Empress Laugh to, you know, really drill home the fact that we won that round.
It's just a little toxicity from the in-game agents themselves happening, as we do see the tour de force from the Hawks coming out already.
I mean, you don't want to see the text that the opposing team won and then just hear Reyna laugh in your face.
No, but I mean, if I'm the Reyna, I'm definitely going to enjoy a little bit of ego boost as Moonkeeper finds Soren basically out of spawn. That is atrocious spite. We do see the surprise attempt to go out, does not pick anybody up. Rainbow does pick Asagi. Dark finds Rainbow. Jaguar finds 2. Dark and Secrets go down. Suni Lee finds Crunchwrap. And the spike was actually inside spawn, so now Jaguar just rotates to where he knows no one is at and is going to go for the plant, because you can see for the Hawks, their chamber is still over on A.
Teleport's ready.
Now what's really going to make the difference is where they decide to set up for post-plant, because that tour de force is still in play. So you don't necessarily want to put yourself in too risky of a spot where this chamber can find you out. Oh, he misses the shot. It just goes flying past Jaguar's shoulder. And that's going to make it 8-2 Mammoths.
You don't have to click heads with it every time. I mean, you can just body shot Bandit with that thing. I mean, you understand where the hitbox works, where the hitbox is, and how it works on a human-esque body, right?
And this was just an insane moment to turn it all around. That is such quick. He had no margin for error there at all, and Jaguar immediately got things back in the Mammoths' favor and were able to turn around what looked like was going to be a standard win for the Hawks.
Haunt and Suppress and Leer all expelled in mid. Moonkeeper finding one, traded with Jaguar as they go down. Now it is 4v4 as far as agent power goes on both sides. We have Knives and Viper's Pit both out for the side of the Hawks, so they are rushing in to get this plant. We also see Boombot go out as well. Secrets is going to go down to Rainbow, and I do believe that means Viper's Pit goes down. Yep, it does, because that was the Hawks' Viper's Pit. Now the return Viper's Pit from the Mammoths going up as Spike was planted.
Mammoths in a comfortable defending position as Jaguar takes a big flank, and Knife start for good measure. I guess the show and swagger, he's still feeling great from that last round. I mean, Nerdy's jaw has hit the floor right now.
That was incredible, and it's been a minute since we've seen a knife kill, and this was just dirty.
I mean, this is just talking about, you know, blinders on mentality. Doesn't hear, well, there wasn't any footsteps to hear. Jaguar just stepping up, all sneaky-like, and uses a knife to get his triple.
This is the last round before the half. Dart immediately goes down. No, Knife goes down, and Soren takes out Crunchwrap Supreme. Jaguar has their ultimate online. He's ready to go. This is the last round, so we should, in theory, see all 4 ults that are on the board right now pop. 3 from the Mammoths and 1 from the Hawks. Are we going to? I don't know. Unless we're saving it for Valorant 2.
It's now 4v4.
Man, why you gotta do me like that?
Well, meanwhile, the Mammoths have gotten 1 player, so don't make that 2. Now they're going to be planting on A with a pretty darn big advantage. Also, it's going to make it harder for Hawks to push onto A thanks to this KO ultimate that has been popped.
I mean, we still have Hunter's Fury for the Hawks. Theoretically speaking, they can identify where in the world this poor KO is at and Hunter's Fury them. And hopefully not Hunter's Fury their own teammate.
One down.
Ooh, Usagi picking up 2. And we had Dark find 1 inside the Hunter's Fury. Return Nightfall. A tap to bait out some Util. Prowler goes out.
Last
And
player
Secrets
standing.
tries to get the defuse because, you know, of course, pros stick it. They were undeterred, but unfortunately they should have run away and bought themselves a little bit more time. And we are going to swap sides. We are going to be able to see this replay here of what just happened. Sonar goes out, Viper drops the molly. Here's that Hunter's Fury I thought was going to end up killing Secrets, but it didn't. It did pick up Soren, allowed entry for Isagi to come in, find 2, but it wasn't enough. Nightfall was in the back pocket of the Mammoths. They managed to play the retake game, even just defending their own spike plant. As we go into round 2, Hawks desperately looking for an opportunity to turn this around in their favor at a 2-10 disadvantage.
Not often that we see things this lopsided as a 10-2 comeback. Usually 9-3. Sometimes we see comebacks from that scoreline, but 10-2 usually decides it. But we'll see if the Hawks are more comfortable on attack. And Sunny Lee is the only one holding it down, but Hawks should know this position. I would think of all people, Isagi would know that position because that's where he was hiding out, but he falls to it.
Ooh, Sunny Lee did pick up Dark as well with that paint grenade. They do go down to Cruntrap Supreme. It's going to suppress standard high ground spot. Soren did end up being the object of that suppress. Let's see how long they live. Viper's wall goes down. Moonkeeper whips a couple shots, finds one, but Jaguar was peppering him.
I'm just surprised he managed to live that long. Normally, if you miss one headshot with the Sheriff, you're done for, but I was like 4.
Soren might have whiffed a couple too. It happens. Your aim's not always perfect. Secrets finds Jaguar, Rainbow finds Secrets, and the Mammoths will walk away with another round win in their back pockets.
And this is a really good win for the Mammoths as well, because if they fully play out their gun advantage that they should have here, that'll bring them up to match point. That would mean that it would be a whole bunch of rounds, 10 rounds that the Hawks would have to win in a row just to bring it to overtime. Just facing numbers like that, it can kind of be easy to just, you know, throw in the towel and just, you know, be ready to try to get him in the next round.
I'll find you.
I mean, you know, one of my phrases is it's not GG till it's over, but additionally, one thing that I have is the mantra of like the 10-2 curse. Let's see if that works out for the Hawks here. Not positive if it does, but sometimes it can, as Jaguar is going to find Cruntrap Supreme, some KO on KO aggression. Secrets gets the plant. This is on spot on A site. Toxic screen goes down for Secrets, and now they're trying to look to see if anyone's on that back high ground. Moonkeeper trying to hold back the flank, just using the headhunter, doesn't find anything. Does take a little damage from the paint grenade. It's going to round this corner and have to meet up with the Viper. Viper goes down to Dark. Isagi finds Master. Now it's just 3v3.
Rainbow bringing an advantage up in favor of the Mammoths, but the thing is they're just too little time.
That was rough.
Technically, this might, no, I don't
Nope,
think.
they don't have enough time.
Nope, maybe.
No,
He's
wait.
gotten it. Oh.
0.2 seconds. 0.29, sorry. Man,
I just,
with another
yeah,
round win.
normally people say it's a 9-3 curse, but you said 10-2 curse, so I don't even want to ask if there's like a personal experience behind that in like the most heartbreaking game.
There is plenty, but it wasn't a curse that didn't work out in my favor. I'm like, 10-2 curse, let's do this. And I'm like, okay, here's the plan. We're just going to rush it down mid. Don't go slow, hold the W key, don't hit that shift button.
I usually like the strategy of walk forward to win, but it's a nice strategy in my mind, but it never really works out in practice.
At least in Valorant, if you die, it's your own fault. It's not like you didn't, like, it's not like you're like sitting there like, why didn't you heal me like other games? Where having an S key is very important.
It's a nice place, well-placed knife. Oh! And catches Sunny Lee out in a crouch peek and sprays for good measure as well.
Spray. Oh, that made my day. The Cruntrap with the cat spray, the crying cat. We had to suppress again. 2 suppressed by Jaguar. just did not anticipate Isagi being on that the mid-high ground area.
Enemy down.
Rainbow's gonna find Dark. Spike is planted for Vision from the attacker's side of this point, so it's gonna be a little difficult for the defense to reclaim this one. They have to play cleanup for a bit here. Master's on the flank. Isagi is at half health. Moonkeeper finds Master, but also takes a decent amount of damage. Shots exchanged. Rainbow finds Crunchwraps and Pareem. We have post-plant lineups here from the Viper trying to maintain spike control. Uses one Molly, uses the second Molly, and the Poison Orb. This could be a round victory for the Hawks here, as we only have Secrets left standing. I don't think there's enough time on that spike. There is not. And that's going to be a victory for the Hawks. We're still at match point, though, for the Mammoths.
One round down, 9 to go in terms of what the Hawks have to overcome, and it's going to especially be challenging for this next round, since that was essentially a bonus round for the Mammoths.
Did I just see a... There is no way. I saw someone buy an Odin.
There is an Odin. That is indeed an Odin.
Oh, my nuggets. Okay.
But it is going to be
Odin and an Op.
Yeah, an Odin versus the Op. This is the kind of battle of the two extremes that I love to see.
These people remind me of my one friend who either buys an Odin or buys an Operator, and I always sit there and cry, and I'm like, why do you favor the two most expensive guns in the game? And he's just like, because they're the most expensive guns in the game. And then, you know, he dies and someone else picks it up and he's like, no, they have an Odin. And I'm like, oh, no, duh. Moonkeeper finds Jaguar, gonna rotate through mid. Knife is out though. Is this gonna get punished? No, they put it away at the right time. But Suni Lee finds Moonkeeper. Hawks leading by 2 agents. Are they going to have an opportunity to maintain this and come out on top of this round?
Grenade!
Nade thrown out to start the retake. Gonna be going up with Sagi, who still has their knives out.
Last player standing.
Gets one, is gonna reload on all of them. And this is gonna be a round loss for the Mammoths, which isn't the most surprising thing. I mean, the Mammoths were, let's just say they weren't playing that round the most strategically. They are gonna pick up the Op.
This is what you get for buying an Operator this early in a half.
Well, and also choosing the Odin and trying to keep sights down B long with it, because that's not an ideal gun for a range that long.
Yeah, no argument here on that one.
So I do think they probably weren't taking that round the most seriously.
Dark. Dark. My friend.
Well, it's the other team this time, so you can't, you know.
I could still question choices.
I mean, it's a very fair question to ask.
Poison's off.
Mid and A push coming out right now. Let's see what happens from his Sorin. Ends up going down to Crunchwrap. Jaguar is going to find Isagi. So equivalent exchange from the two teams, as there's now a rotate quickly over towards B. Jaguar looking down that Operator side. Doesn't see anyone. Might be able to recognize the fact that not seeing anyone means that they are not at A site, because their Viper just cleared it. So they should be rotating now and getting ready for the retake on B site.
Toxin screen down.
Mammoths should have much more of a fair fight to retake this point. Now drone is thrown out, as well as both the ultimates actually from the Mammoths. Put a whole lot of pressure on the Hawks. Crunchwrap Supreme, meanwhile, is just hanging behind Yellow. Gonna try to catch the defuser. A whole lot of spray and one op shot to stop him. Sunny Lee is trying to... Oh man, that was probably the most unfortunate. Ah, Mammoths, come on.
Yeah, you're gonna live. You're good. Barely. By this, that was really close.
Crunchwrap Supreme should have been dealt with a lot sooner here.
No
I mean,
doubt about
you gotta look at this spray transfer. I mean, look at how wide a margin. Look, it's that Viper. They reloaded at just the wrong time. Either they pressed it out of instinct and reloaded when they shouldn't have, or they just weren't managing their ammo and were forced to reload mid-fight.
COD reload, gotta love it. And hitting the W key while reloading. Take notes, people.
So 3 of those 10 rounds that the Hawks have needed to win have been secured. That's a good start. Oh, well, that would have been a good start,
But that KO's kind of in a rough spot to get the revive on. Team has to actually like backtrack, so I think there might be a call to abandon him. Nope, they did resurrect Crunchwrap. Jaguar finds Dark. Jaguar goes down to Isaki. Now Mammoth only have 1 player standing. Rainbow, clutch or kick here, my friend, and I think standing might be the option, but you're gonna find 1. However, the other 3 are all lined up, firing squad style. Moonkeeper's gonna round, possibly anticipating going towards outside. Does not, as we have Rainbow pick up secrets. I think Rainbow, it might just be best to save here. No, you are not giving up. Prowler goes out just to make sure someone isn't trying to push in onto you. Now back onto the high ground. Moonkeeper has teleportation ready to go so they can survive and engage. Rainbow drops down. And they go down to Isagi, who gets the 4-piece. No ace yet again for Isagi.
man, Mammoths, I mean, I'm just not too impressed with what I'm seeing at this point. I mean,
shots fired.
You see an op purchase here from Jaguar of all people you don't normally see a KO trying to op. I think they're trying to get their final win in a very showy fashion, but, just get out of the TikTok mentality, okay? You don't need to add another clip to your socials. It's probably going to be banned in a year anyway. So at this point, just go for a normal win.
That's completely valid. Suppress from Jaguar. Doesn't pick up anyone, but we have defense rushing it in through mid. They are intent on figuring out where in the world this other team's going and locking it down, but we do see Master go down to Moonkeeper. Mammoth's down 1. Spike is going to be planted. Crunchwrap finds Soren. So now Mammoths only have 3 left standing. Maybe this mid-rush was not the way to go. Jaguar goes down. Sunny Lee is going to find Crunchwrap Supreme. 2 standing for the Mammoths. Many mistakes exchanged left and right, but the Mammoths ultimately are the ones who are going to get punished for deciding to rush it down. And Moonkeeper, who went unchecked, picks up Sunny Lee, and then Isagi finds Rainbow.
Take aim, Zenfire. Let's not complicate it.
Listen to what the Chamber just said.
Yeah.
The Chamber just said, take aim, then fire. Let's not complicate it. You have 10 rounds and you only need to win 1.
Yeah.
And not only that, not only do they have a whole bunch of guns that they can still use, or a whole bunch of rounds that they can still get the win with, but they should now have 2 ultimates. So they should have the advantage at this point.
Oh my gosh.
We're still seeing an just how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Some people might not be familiar with that episode, unfortunately.
And if they are, I offer my sincerest condolences to the lesser quality life that they've lived.
Yes, Google it if you're unaware. Lots of util dropped. Secret's now looking to put up that wall from Viper. We hear the Odin fire. Oh, we got the buddy from Crunchwrap. I love the buddy. It gets angry when you fire.
Oh, that's so adorable.
I actually spent the $4 just to get that buddy.
Yeah, fair purchase, I would say, in that range.
Looks like the Mammoths might have cleaned up their act despite buying an Odin again. However, they're only in the lead by 1 agent, and they have not determined where Spike is at. It's with this Viper who's rotating over towards B, where Jet's already locked it down. There is no rotation just yet coming out entirely from the side of the Mammoths. We have a slow rotation through CT. Now, finally, everyone has gone through mid. Sagi is waiting. Master's looking the completely opposite direction, did not clear this angle at all, and they're going to get punished.
Oh,
bye-bye.
The Odin didn't work out for you. Big surprise.
And now that agent lead that I was discussing is gone, and they're actually now suffering from a deficit. Let's see if a 2v3 can work out. Jaguar doesn't take any damage in that exchange, but takes a lot of damage from the Moonkeeper one and will go down. So now we're 8-12. Hawks have successfully taken 6 rounds. Did I maybe just caster curse this? Possibly.
Just maybe possibly. I think they picked up the Odin from the other team just just as a force of show. But I mean, yeah, I mean, in a situation like that, you have the agent advantage, but they were all so split up in the routes they were taking. One was rotating through kitchen, that it just turned into a bunch of one-on-ones. And the Hawks showed that, hey, they can outperform the Mammoths in those one-on-ones.
Ooh, did Usagi get any chip damage? They didn't, but they did manage to pick up Jaguar. Dark's gonna pick up Soren. Knights come out from Usagi. And down goes Master. It's just 2 left standing for the Mammoths, who are both very slowly rotating from B site. Cloud Smoke's gonna go down. Pop Flash out on 2CT. Jet is going to do a lot of damage as we have Rainbow find 1, but they are the last player standing, and all they have is a classic in their hands because they decided to drop the Stinger.
This is the round. Mammoths have their opportunity to full buy, and no, I don't mean by full buy, I mean get another Op or Odin. I just mean standard standard ARs.
Just wait.
Or just wait. If you lose here and you full purchase, that's another eco round given over toward the Hawks that brings them up to 11 and just 1 away. And I do see the standard ARs brought out by the Mammoths, so hopefully now we see an end.
One thing that escaped my mind for a while was the fact that these players are playing on off rolls, so perhaps buying the Operator or buying the Odin was standard for their main role, but on off rolls they shouldn't have done it.
I mean, there is an exception. Like if I see a Brim on an op, you know, I'll know, okay, you know, probably not the biggest. The one exception is Sage. I have seen Sages that terrify me on ops.
Yeah. If you see a Sage with an op, you just don't question it. And you look the other way and you cry. Especially if it's the other team's Sage.
Rainbow's the only one holding down this long sideline on B, and it seems to be where the Hawks have decided to plant.
They called it out. Team has responded. Hunter's Fury getting popped now by the Hawks. Usagi's going to find Rainbow, so the one player that was already stacked up and ready to go is down. Mammoths with 3 players left standing. Moonkeeper rotating up into kitchen. Calls back their trademark. Is going to clear out this area by Tube. Don't know if their drop was heard. I was about to say I don't know if it was, but it definitely was. Usagi finds Soren. Jaguar finds Moonkeeper. Usagi goes down to Jaguar. And Hawks are in a 2v2 situation. Sunny Lee finds Secret, Jaguar finds Dark, and the Mammoths finally get their 13th round win. What did we learn today?
Well, we learned a lot of stuff. I can't necessarily say that for the teams because there are a lot of lessons over the past few weeks that should have been learned. But, you know, we can only hope.
Yeah, I can beg. I mean, I think people need to understand it's just as painful for us to watch the mistakes, like right out the gate from the buy phase. You see people buying Odins and Ops when they shouldn't be, or on agents they shouldn't be. It's just like, if we sit here and question why, and then you die repeatedly doing the same thing, that is the very definition of insanity. Fix it.
8 rounds in a row they lost. 8 rounds in a row.
Yikers. Let's see if they do that again. We're going to end up going into a second map. I'm pretty sure that it's going to be... my brain is breaking right now.
Yeah, Ascent.
Yes, Ascent, which is one of my favorite maps. So
Sure.
I'm super excited to see that. Do you like Ascent? I'm pretty sure.
I like Ascent. It's a nice classic.
Okay. I like the only one I don't like is Bind. So we'll see how this one goes. We do have players on off rolls again. Interested to see what picks we see. Of course, probably most likely going to be a chamber no matter what, but we are going to throw to a quick commercial break and we'll be back here in just a few minutes, so don't go anywhere. Hopefully the players grab some water, stand up, and walk around and shake off that last grueling game, to say the least. So we'll be back here in just a few minutes.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
You take really strong players from disparate communities and you put them together on teams with expert coaching.
So you mean to tell me by all the hands in the room, everybody in here is that top 2%?
It's ultimate, it's a 1v1, it proceeds to the last moment!
It's not every day that you're a kid like me and you get to have this experience.
Something, he gets one.
This boot camp is really about finding out every weakness.
There's no such thing as a big mistake at this level.
I have people in the crowd there cheering my name on. I have to give them a show.
That feeling of just being up on stage and having a whole crowd of people, it's unbeatable.
1v1, but... Oh, why would you pick him?
I love this. I want to do this every day.
You didn't make a choice, so you were just looking at things.
If you want to go pro, sometimes you have to make sacrifices.
Jump up and down, hear a crowd, hear casters. It's a transformational experience.
That was a light switch, and now I see what it's all about.
A lot of players here right now are caught up in winning their tournaments 5-10 years down the road. They're not going to remember who won.
Broadcast of the Esports Tower Winter Rumble. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. The Mammoths won our first game on Icebox. As we head into the Ascent, players are back on their main roles. Will the teams manage to come out victorious in a more balanced game with the main roles, or more shenanigans ensue? I'm still your host, Artie Rain, joined on desk by Jacob Palmer. So with that in mind, we know who's playing, and we're not forcing them nor requesting, because I would like to point out it was phrased as request. So theoretically speaking, the players just could have been like, no, to their coach, and someone could have just taken their normal agent, but it didn't seem like anybody did. With that being said, do you anticipate this being a closer match?
I would hope so, because I'm usually used to, casting matches with victories the teams can be proud of. So this is a nice change of pace, I gotta say. Unfortunately, ultimately it was 8 rounds lost on a 10-2. They were ahead 12-2, and it went to 12-9. So I'm just hoping that it ends sooner.
There's so much shade. I appreciate that a lot, because I'm in the same boat as you. But nonetheless, we still have to congratulate these players, because despite the shenanigans we just saw, the Esports Tower Club members have actually been awarded a lot of scholarships in the last few months, and we want to make sure that we highlight that. And so congratulations to all the Esports Tower Club members who've been graduating from the clubs and have been offered scholarships across the country. Over the last couple of months, the Esports Tower Club members have received over $3.9 million in scholarship awards. These students have not only worked hard on their in-game play, but have worked hard academically and have earned these scholarship opportunities. We cannot be more excited and proud to see all of these opportunities the players are getting. Congratulations to each and every one of you.
And of course, these players are very talented, but I think you could tell they were taking that a bit lackadaisical in the game. You know, if you're holding down B long with an Odin, I'm going to call you out on that.
And that's a completely valid thing to say. Doc's keys to the game don't per se call people out on this type of behavior, but nonetheless, they still are important information and advice that are presented today by Esports Tower. In Valorant, they are flank effectively, spend and peek wisely, count cards, call abilities, and click heads. Score pro advice at esportstower.com, where you can improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. So we're going to head into Ascent. Mammoths are at match point. Much like they were at the start of round 2 on Icebox. Are things going to go awry, or are they actually going to be able to clutch this one up quickly? And don't forget, Vitamin Shop is everything a gamer could need. Scan the QR code now to check out their latest products. Thank you so much, Vitamin Shop, for helping us out here today. Hawks versus Mammoths, who's going to come out on top. And a quick note, Crunchwrap Supreme is actually changing their name. We got notification of that to the name of their kitten that they just adopted, which is absolutely adorable. My cat, when I adopted her, was actually named Crunchwrap Supreme, and her name is now Schrodinger. So I adore it. Either way.
Whatever just happened to something like Mittens or something?
My cat's names are creative.
I do give you props for that, but seems like it's been a while since I've just heard a
normal cat name.
There's a difference in generations, I'll say, in terms of naming their pets. I'll say the younger generations are, back in my day, it was just Mittens or something like that. Now it's, Schrodinger and probably a Rick and Morty reference thrown in there somewhere.
My other cat's name is Mr. Jim Business, which is a reference to Bob's Burgers. He also has a mustache, so I thought it was fitting, and Bob's Burgers is one of my favorite shows to watch. Crunchwrap will be changing their name I think midway through the match is when we'll officially see the update. He did tell us, he legitimately went into the Riot system and did it before this match started, so we'll see how long it takes to take effect. Nonetheless, I appreciate letting us know.
All this build-up, I'm just wondering what the name is going to be.
Me too, and I'm hoping it's something creative. If it's socks or mittens, we might throw a little shade. Because Crunchwrap Supreme is already pretty creative. I'm a huge fan of Taco Bell.
Well, Crunchwrap is already making okay, I was going to say, but...
Rip, we cast a curse down. We got a slight one-way from Jaguar. Could have put it out earlier, over on top of that ledge where you round corner into A site near the orb, but they're going to stand in it and take one down and then go down to Rainbow, who also earlier took out our other agent who pushed forward that jet. Moonkeeper, who's now back onto their comfort pick of the KO, is going to back off after they got suppressed. Rainbow going in for that plant. Master on the KJ is going to jump peek here, and even though having the crosshair placement sooner does not find Moonkeeper.
Last player standing.
Wow, Rainbow just hanging out under heaven and manages to pick up the round in favor of the Mammoths.
In case you also noticed it, we did have a couple of roster swaps with Soren, Master, and Rainbow joining in on the Hawk squad. So perhaps we'll see more balanced gameplay here rather than what we saw at the start of Icebox, but we'll have to wait and see.
Notice how Nerdy said at the start of Icebox. That's the operative word here.
Things just kind of
fell apart.
Yeah, it took a downward spiral. I feel like there's better ways for us to describe what happened, but we're going to stick with that for now as we have Rainbow throw that suppress from tiles all the way to tree. Does pick up the Omen. Soren using camera, just peeking around this corner. Doesn't even fiddle with the orb. He's going to play the waiting game here. I doubt Crunchwrap's going to meet them, but now they're going to use it. Crunchwrap has a shorty, though. So Crunchwrap can't really push forward, has to just wait for Soren to walk into them. And with this smoke, it's going to give that opportunity. We have the camera drop and yikers.
Nicely played by Crunchwrap. A lot of patience there in making sure that shorty play worked out.
Spike planted.
Spike has been planted on B, however. Hawks do have the agent advantage. But at this point, if they don't play it right and take these as one-on-ones, then the Mammoths could very well still win this round.
Last player standing.
Ooh, Isagi finds Crunchwrap. Jaguar finds Isagi. Hot Flash comes out to exit the smoke. Rainbow finds one, but they are going to get taken down.
Nicely done by the Hawks, making it 1-1. That's not something we often see. Usually it's a standard 2-0 opening, but it is going to be a Thrifty handed over to the Hawks.
Moonkeepers, Crunchtrap Supreme, and Secrets are now on the Mammoth team just to make sure that everyone is on the same page of who swap squads. So we had Soren, Master, and Rainbow swap over, and Crunchtrap Supreme, Secrets, and Crunchtrap Supreme, Moonkeeper, and Secrets swap over. So
you're basically saying that these are the same teams that we saw last game, except they aren't in any way whatsoever. It's just like professional sports, too. You get used to one team lineup, and then the trades come through. I think I hit a sensitive nerve there, so I'm not going to inquire any further.
It was years ago. The Mariners traded Ichiro to the White Sox on the day that they played the White Sox.
Okay. I get that.
Yeah.
My family's Mariners fans, so I'm not going to touch that sensitive nerve anymore.
Thank you. Contract. Tailwind comes out after just exchanging some fire, but does find one. Secrets and Jaguar find Asagi and Soren. There's still one person over there. It's Dark, who's just going to rotate back. No, they have the shorty, and they're just going to watch Spike to see if anyone is bold enough to come forward. Jaguar, though, has the better angle, gets 2 shots in, but Jaguar and Secrets are going to play cleanup crew, and the Mammoths go down. That is a round victory for the Hawks.
And even more eco goes over to the Hawks. You see one of their team members picked up a Phantom that the Mammoths had bought, so ultimately I would be very surprised if the Mammoths can full buy this round. Maybe they're having to settle. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of ARs from them, but we might have a few of them having to settle for half shields at this point.
Don't worry, I'll keep them quiet.
I did see a Spectre, but that was it. And why do we have a Phantom holding mid is my question.
Well, that's the same logic we had for an Odin holding B.
And it looks like everyone managed to full buy. No, I definitely saw a Spectre. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
One did.
Soren finds Crunchtrap. And the ball fan is out. The ball fan is out. It is time to run away. Everyone's location is now revealed. Fear the bald man.
Beautiful use of that ultimate by the Mammoths. Not always easy to find a time when you can use that Neuro Theft. Oh, he gets hit by walking past guard, and he's going to move back and remember to close the door. I sure hope that Asagi can fend for themselves, because they have been locked on the other side of this door all by themselves to face the fury of the Hawks.
Yikers, that's rough. It's always a terrifying situation when your team decides to drop door and you're on the other side. It's like they're either telling you, we don't need you and we know you're going to die anyway, or we trust you to get these picks because we know there's a bunch of people over there. Either way, it's pretty scary, and if I'm on the other side of the door and my team drops it, I'm normally screaming and crying and very angry.
I must wait a moment.
Oh, Soren gets caught out by the knife and smoked off. On the other side of that smoke, it's a lot of victories for the Hawks, but Soren now is going to be moving through the smoke. Looks the wrong way, however. Gets taken out as soon as the spike is diffused.
And I think we're going to see the unfortunate moment where Soren walked in and looked the wrong direction. Yes, we have Secrets find Master, Rainbow find Suni Lee, Secrets found Rainbow. We did see Soren pick up Moonkeeper, but then they peeked right when they should have peeked left. You got a 50-50 chance, and you picked wrong in the coin flip.
Heading into round 5. Things a lot more evened up. Takes out the knife, does a jump peek, round A short. Jaguar also exchanging a few shots, but doesn't pick up anything from them. Soren gets a headshot with the Sheriff. Jaguar gets a double off his own, keeping the Hawks in this competitively.
Looks like we've got a push into A site now. Just 2 left standing for the Hawks here on defense. Can they clutch this up? I mean, Omen is at such low health, you just get a little spray, a tickle on the kneecap there, maybe the foot, and they're going to go down. So theoretically speaking, Hawks can still bring this back in their favor.
Well, that knife hits its target. It's going to throw out a molly. But it accidentally hits one of his teammates, Asagi, so Asagi still survives. They're both hanging out under heaven at this point. Oh, that shock dart right down. They know where they are. And it's going to take out Asagi. Big brain play.
Sunny Lee with the pop splash in their face goes down to Rainbow, and Mammoths find another round win.
You can see, also, I think this shock dart was just made possible by the fact that Asagi was so low on health, but this was very well predicted and played. They basically cleared out a whole sideline for themselves.
All right, I hear some shotgun blasts coming out now as we're going in the start of the next round. I'm wondering if we have either have A, a shorty, or B, a judge. Possibly a Bucky.
And it seems this is the pause that we were teasing a bit earlier, just with the name change from Crunchwrap Supreme. Sometimes network issues can just creep up on you, and you got to change over. But we will be back to that as soon as we can.
Okay, so if you were to guess, were we hearing a Bucky, a shorty, or a judge?
Oh, that was a that was a Bucky through
yeah, I'm
and
pretty
through.
sure it was
that
a Bucky because we're hearing 2 shots at a time and then reload. Unless someone was completely trying to fake us out, I'm pretty sure that was a Bucky. I have mad respect for anyone who decides to just go with shotgun gaming. I know some people that have shotgun-only accounts. Is it the most horrifying thing I've ever heard? Yes. Are they extremely high-ranked in Valorant? Yes. Do I think it's crazy? Yes, I do. As we have Master walk in and get a 4-piece, and the ace goes to Master. No one was blinded, question mark from Jaguar. Crazy. That's a lot of people coming out from Secrets. Yes, you did a fabulous job there, KJ. Congratulations. That is sometimes what you get for doing Bucky gaming.
Well, but that was with a Vandal, so you're saying the people on defense who were using Bucky paid for it.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. I tried to go the pure intimidation factor with the Bucky's audio cues, but Mammoths didn't fall for it in that circumstance.
No.
Cage triggered.
Wow, Crunchwrap. Oh, Crunchwrap is still here. Okay.
Perhaps they were hoping that the relog would get the name change for us on our end, but sometimes it just doesn't. I mean, I've been logged out before and changed my name and came in, and it still wasn't changed. For like half the people I was grouped with, one person could see it, some others couldn't. I don't know. It's weird. I don't get it.
I'm telling you all, clear your cache.
Yes. Rainbow at Tiles has some fire being brought down upon them, and they're slow. Oh, rest in peace.
Player standing. Spike down mid.
Soren over towards Market, maybe trying to pick Moonkeeper. Whoa, picked in the wrong spot. Oh, that was tragic.
You know, maybe if you don't hear an audio cue with the first few shots of the wallbang attempt, it's time to use on, move on.
Yeah, don't empty your full clip into one corner. I'm sure if we were watching Moonkeeper's POV, they almost had like just 2 or 3 circles where all of their bullets were going through. Soren, way to try and like clutch that up, but nice exit frag nonetheless.
I can't believe my plan didn't work. Walk right into mid where it's wide open, fire my gun off, and hope no one notices.
Like, how did he not look to the left? I mean, if they can see you, you can see them type deal, you know? Crunchwrap, though, gets an early pick. Tailwind and Cloud Smoke. Double Cloud Smoke actually coming out. Gonna take some pepper damage. Down to 55. Should have possibly not gone out before the other enemy util was used. Just a thought.
I also think this is a great opportunity to use... Oh, yep, that neural theft again. Oh, but he gets taken out.
There's no need for the bald man to come out just yet.
But it's so fast charging. Had he used it now, I'm sure he would have been, you know, had the opportunity to use it a 3rd time in the half, which is very nice indeed.
I'm sorry, Moonkeeper. I'm very sorry. Neurotheft is out for the Hawks as they gun down Moonkeeper. 2 left standing. We have Sonar come out, KJ doing post-plant shenanigans, and we have the KO ultimate come out, just kind of jiggle picking here from doorway. Alarm bot has been used. Down goes the turret, and the shorty comes out. That is point blank range, basically insta-kill, so it's quite nice. Secret's now in a 1v1, but that molly perfectly placed from Rainbow is going to take Secrets down, and I'm pretty sure we don't even have time yet to watch the spike explode. We're going to get a quick recap of what just happened on entry.
I mean, all I have to say is, what is with the wallbang attempts here? Because that was another one who just...
You know,
I mean, at least the person was there, so that's an improvement, but you didn't hit the person.
But in this instance, there was an improvement from the last encounter we had with wallbangs as well, where they realized they're there, but this ain't gonna work. They swapped to the shorty and just rushed in. I respect it.
Cage triggered.
Smoke thrown out early through mid. All the Mammoths grouped up around A, and moving through, and an early pick by Soren takes out Crunchwrap, and he might be walking right into a shorty from Jaguar. Are you what? Check your angles!
And that's a shorty to the face. At this point, there's three left standing for the Mammoths. I don't even know if we need to technically see any ult util used here just yet. We have lockdown from KJ, and then we have the Omen ultimate available as well on both sides, and then Hunter's Fury from the Hawks. Assuming Lee's going to go down after holding an angle a little bit too long. Jaguar, I think, contemplating? Yes, there we go. The Hawks are going to use their Omen ultimate. Oh, yikes. You know, sometimes you just, there's no words as you watch the chaos unfold.
There is no words.
How did no one... Okay.
Spike
How did
planted.
y'all not clear tree entirely to find secrets?
Clears out Asagi from heaven.
They have time to wait for this lockdown to go completely out, I believe. We have door get shut. Master slowly walking forward. I don't know if Secrets is prepared for this engage. They are not, as they are using util and not checking their right side. 3, 2, 1. Shot is now lined up, and Secrets is probably going to die.
Last player standing.
Yep, there it is. It was 5 seconds, not 3, but still same principle.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a 50-50 shot.
I mean, how do you...
This was just...
This is how many seconds are afforded to you to just check the other angle. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. So, credit where it's due. Soren looked over and then looked back and then realized they made a mistake. Like, you could see the oh no moment when Soren flicked back, but by then it was too late.
We do see Soren purchasing the first op that we've seen of this round, so, you know, maybe a clutch op performance might be a chance to redeem.
Jaguar suppressed out the gate, trying to put out their smoke, is not going to get it. But, oh, they did. They did manage to put the one way, but Dark is literally directly inside of it in a safe position. Moonkeeper in mid. With that Phantom, again, many questions. Ooh, yikes. That's all I have to say about that one.
Tripwire is careful now.
Oh, they run right into that tripwire. They were not expecting it to be in that position.
Soren using Hunter's Fury here from heaven. Just outside tree. Don't think they found anyone. Secrets goes down. Moonkeeper finds Master. Ooh, Usagi. Moonkeeper, who's going to win? It's going to be Usagi. So we have Neurotheft get popped for the side of the Mammoths. How's that op working out, Soren?
Player standing.
He just decided to pick up a Vandal at the last moment and take.
Yeah,
okay, he'll survive.
There's a free op for Sunny Lee, but Cypher had an op, and now the other Cypher has an op. It didn't really seem to work out having a Cypher with the operator, but we'll have to wait and see how it goes. Because, I mean, killing someone at long range, especially if you have Neurotheft online.
I do love how you channeled your Dr. Phil for that. How's that op working for you?
I gotta ask, because I mean, I think it defeats the purpose of having your ult online to kill someone long range as a Cypher. That's my own personal opinion, of course. And it looks like we've got half buys on all fronts possibly here.
I will find you.
Yeah, no one really can get what they want at this point. The Hawks, I would say, are in a better position, though, because should they choose, they do have the option to eco with the knives.
I saw a full shield with a classic. That is rough.
It's nice to have your priorities in order.
I mean, at least you'll live through 1.5 headshots.
But, I mean, again, if it is this Jet who is just using their knives instead, that's perfectly fine.
That is true. I believe it was Crunchtrap Supreme, but they unfortunately take a little bit too much space and overstay their welcome. Rainbow got oh! Yikes, Jaguar. I'm sorry. Moonkeeper's going to also pick up Dark. We're at 2v2. Minute left. Hawks have not planted, but they do have site A under control. It's just the issue is that they're all on low ground. And it looks like we have one kind of kiting out towards Wine.
Standing ahead.
Yeah, one in Wine, one near Generator. This is going to be interesting as we have the KO ultimate get popped as well. Kind of basically gives away where one is standing, but Seekers was busy checking underneath and got punished by Master. We do see the KO go down, but Master will find Moonkeeper.
7-4 has the opportunity here to make it 8-4, which all things considered, this has been a pretty even half, so ending it with a lead like that would be pretty good for the Mammoths. If you're able to, you know, save face and make it 7-5. Yeah, I know. That caught me off guard. So I thought he was going to maybe get the teleport through.
Yeah, I really thought you were safe. Unfortunately, those paint grenades are unforgiving. Soren being forced onto the light shields unless it's a choice, not positive. I didn't check your economy entirely. Crunchtrap, hopefully, nope, they are suppressed. They did already engage their tailman, though, so they should be okay. But they're going to overstay their welcome again and get punished.
That's such an insane teleport there. Oh, I was going to say, I like the idea, but it just didn't work out in the end.
Maybe a little more patience, guys. I see a lot of people getting a kill and then instantly pushing W. There is an S key. You know, like Doc's key of spend and peek wisely. You're not peeking wisely.
I don't know. Maybe they need some more time with Mavis Beacon, you know, just letting them know that the S key exists and improving their typing skills on that particular key.
Oh my gosh.
You need to have good posture. Take stretch breaks.
Good posture, Jacob says. Both he and I are hunched over on the desk.
Don't be like us.
Yeah.
We've already thrown away our lives.
Doing the old do as I say, not as I do line from our parents there.
I am taking this moment actually to take a stretch break and improve my posture a little bit. And that's advice that probably should be followed at this point because we are at halfway. Mammoths with a slight lead, 7-5.
Now the question is, are Hawks going to get multiple rounds in a row?
I don't know. Mammoths, you know, can you prove to us that you've learned your lesson from last time?
I mean, this time at least we're not at match point at the start of the half.
That's a big knife. And just to find 4, Soren gets the first pick.
Master with the classic, gonna go check Catwalk and get punished. Ghost from Moonkeeper triumphs over the classic with Soren drop the cage, trying to just give themselves some cover and identify if anyone decides to push through. Tripwire does get triggered, so they're aware of at least one person is standing, identifying probably where most of the enemy team is at that point, as there's a quick rotation through mid coming in from Market, smoking out CT, lots of just spray damage to make sure no one's there, and standard plant by boxes, it looks like, for the Hawks.
Plans the strike. Here.
whole lot of just kind of oh my god, they are all taking the exact same place.
Why?
And they just get fired through like Swiss cheese at that point. I mean, it took out all the guesswork from the Hawks of knowing where everyone was.
Oh, there's 4 here. Okay. Yeah.
They're all there.
Take a different angle. There's literally another one that I think in-game probably 10 meters to the right. But everyone decided here was the way to go.
At this point, you just...
They were setting someone up for a collat.
Yeah.
I'm shocked we didn't see one.
I will rip the light from
Well, overall, Mammoths now still have a lead, but it is much more slim at this point, and it's not the way Soren wanted to start out.
I'm getting flashbacks to something
these
very
aren't.
recent.
But there's still a bit left to play. And this is the gun advantage round for the Hawks. So I think the real test is going to be for next round when they have their full purchases, because that's specifically the scenario where the Mammoths had trouble last time.
Yeah, if we see an Odin buy again with someone not like kind of pushed up towards B main, so to speak, and instead they're in mid, I'll question. Odins are still an option, though, in this instance.
Team Ace.
Oh, my goodness. You have a mouse. You can look left and right.
Their tech is only as good as their skill. And there, we have some beats.
Well, now's probably I would say, the do-or-die moment for these two teams.
Tied 7-7. Let's see how this goes. This is the test.
Oh, it's trying to... Oh!
Recalling both, I believe.
Someone needs to improve their cornhole skills, because this is... No, it's an Odin! The Mammoth spotted Odin!
Wait, you spotted one? And I missed it?
No, I mean, to be fair, this is a more traditional Odin stage, but where is the Odin user positioned is the question.
Like I said, if they're near B garage, it's acceptable.
Okay, nope.
They're not?
The KJ doesn't have the Odin, so it either has to be that or the Omen who has it.
Don't tell me it's the Rays. Don't tell me it's the Rays. No,
okay. It is a sign. Okay.
All right.
That's fair.
Acceptable.
That's fair.
We understand this pick. We won't throw too much shade.
Spike planted.
However, if you get caught with your knife out, because I understand that pulling out the Odin takes a long time, I will judge you. Ooh, lots of wallbang damage on the legs of the KO, but no conclusive kill. Swapping out the gun for a Phantom instead, as we have first with the lowest health running in first. It is now just Mammoth with 3 players, Hawks with 2, Rainbow with 1 smidgen of health. Does go down to Soren. Crunchtrap inside the back of the point. Soren finds them as well, and now it is the opportunity for the defuse. Mammoth's going up 1. Now is when they're on pretty much equal footing.
Credit where it's due. That's exactly where the Mammoths needed to do. The Odin pick made sense, and it paid dividends for them. And I think also just the fact that, this Jet was at 6 health. So obviously, the constant damage of that Odin did pay huge dividends here, because it left that Jet with hardly any options. They couldn't peek and defend like normal.
Tickle, tickle. You get a lot of tickle damage through those walls when you're getting a nice wall bang through. Now, the question is, are we going to see another Odin? We did see the Odin actually get dropped in favor of a Phantom, which I appreciated the gun swap in that instance, because rushing in with the Phantom was definitely the smarter play. What? Okay, now I'm curious, what gun did we see purchased by the Cypher that is chilling out looking at tiles right now? Oh! Sagi, Soren, both go down. Crunchtrap, double Cloud Smoke, has taken over Heaven. Is choosing to duck into their own Cloud Smoke as we see paint grenades go out through mid as door gets dropped. And Cypher is going to slowly rotate towards Tree. We have Rainbow find 1, and Dark might come into... Yep.
Player standing.
That was big. Yikers. See, that is the downside of the Phantom right there. You have a little bit more control over your spread of your spray, but at long distance, it's not that great, unless it took a lot of time for that kill to happen over towards B main. Oh, sorry, A main.
And that fortunate dash into point doesn't pay out for the Jet. Oh my goodness! Yeah, that's rough.
I think perhaps it might be a good idea for our defensive Cypher to take a different position this time, because they had been posted up in the same spot quite frequently. And you gotta shake things up. You can't just be in the same spot all the time. It starts to get read like a book. And people start to anticipate it, much like Crunchtrap did. Now we have knives immediately popped by Crunchtrap, rushing out from tiles. Clears most of mid. Does
see Soren.
Soren just jiggle peeking. Exchange fire. I don't think anyone. Soren did not take damage. Misses the dart as well. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
I know exactly where you are.
That is so embarrassing to lose to a classic in that situation.
Oh my gosh. Every knife. Not a single one landed. But with the classic, we did see Soren get pretty low. Now Sunny Lee is going to find Dark. Moonkeeper's going to find Rainbow. There's 2 left standing for the Mammoths, 3 left standing for the Hawks. Question is, who's going to find the pick faster? Because Soren's at 22 health, so you might as well just have a KJ left standing right now for the Mammoths. As the door gets closed, tries to get some pop fire through it with that right click, doesn't find anything, and now has to break down this door, hoping they don't completely run out of ammo because they are now at 12 shots. They rotate guns to make sure they have it, but with that, Jaguar picks up 2, and there's no one left standing for the Mammoths.
At this point, Hawks have Poland into the lead. The Mammoths would have to start a rally of their own, because normally we see them in a position where they have a big lead, but maybe this is just the fire that they're going to need in order to rally to victory. They need 4 wins. Hawks need 3. Everything's still pretty even in terms of the ultimates. Both teams have the exact same ultimates available to them.
But who uses them better is always the question. Jaguar looking to put a quick smoke out. Never mind. Changes his mind. Now we have Dark going for the boom bot. Just outside a tree. Gonna throw paint grenade as well. Possibly trying to buy themselves some space, but it looks like Crunchtrap managed to dodge all of that damage. Now gonna push forward. It's fire between Crunchtrap and Dark, and Crunchtrap comes out on top.
You thought you were safe.
Nice showdown on Heaven for Asagi.
That voice line was creepy from the Omen.
I haven't heard that one before.
I haven't either. Everyone's trying to figure out where this Omen went. Both Omens actually used their ultimate, I believe. Except for the Mammoths, Omen got punished, whereas Jaguar for the Hawks is still alive. Still has full health as well, which is always a great sign as we see one fall inside spawn for defenders. Rainbow went down. The Secrets, Master, Sunny Lee all go down. 2v1. Can the Cypher for the Mammoths clutch this one up? Can Soren do it? We've seen them do it in the past. They're going. That was quite the spray and pray. I don't think they got even a tickle of damage out. Moonkeeper just instantaneously finds Soren's head, and that's going to be a round win for the Hawks.
And at this point, the Mammoths are now at the biggest round deficit that they have faced so far today. We're going to have a timeout. I think that's pretty warranted in this particular scenario for the Mammoths.
Yeah, time to figure out what's going wrong and get it fixed up. Any words of advice if you were their coach right now?
Well, you can't look too far ahead. Take it one round at a time. Also notice, the posture right here between both of us at this point has been really improved, and I think maybe having good gaming posture is going to help you in this scenario.
Aim with the elbow, adjust with the wrist type deal. In case you're unaware, it's really bad to just aim with your wrist. That's how you get carpal tunnel, kids. So if you're starting to get sore, stretch out those arm muscles. Make sure you do it before games and during this timeout. Do it as well. That would be my advice. Stand up, shake it off, figure it out, focus up, because y'all are getting diffed right now. Mammoths, figure out what's wrong.
Just raise those hands until you can feel your fingers tingle. Wiggle them a little. There you go. See, that's part of the stretching that you do to maintain healthy body and mind.
I just go insane slowly. It's fine. All right. Now, was there any huge adjustments made for the side of the Mammoths? This round is definitely going to tell us. It may not be immediately evident. We may have to wait for them to completely turn things around after losing 2 more rounds. Is that going to be the case? I don't know. We have Rainbow with a Marshall coming in from tiles. Well, not tiles, from tree. Doesn't see anything and is about to get really, really close and comfortable with a couple other people. And classic secrets through a smoke. That's got to be painful.
Got him.
I gotta say, if this is the start of a rally from the Mammoths, that might be it. Rainbow gets a nice wallbang onto Crunchwrap. Asagi has brought this back to 2 apiece.
1 enemy remaining.
So 2 on 1.
Last player standing.
And Asagi manages to take out. I mean, yeah, that's a bit.
Just ping spike and wait.
Yeah, that's so. I really don't get the logic behind that teleport. Because the place that he's teleporting, I'm sure we'll see it again here in this replay. No, we're going to see the beginning of the match. So.
Okay, I'm not questioning the teleport. I'm questioning this play right there from Suni Lee. Because you already have the plant, you're aware of where the Omen's at. Yes, he's in a smoke, but you just have a teammate ping spike, and you literally can see the Omen. You could have just fired at him a little bit from heaven at a safe distance, and then once you heard the defuse start again, then gone into the smoke and jumped on generator as opposed to mid-fire jumped on gen.
Trap Supreme exchanges a few shots in mid.
This one way is really a tough situation to work around.
Oh, but he manages to find a way to do it.
Dark does find Sunny Lee, so equivalent exchange yet again. From tree. Dark isn't going to look down at Crunchwrap soon enough and gets punished for it. And Crunchwrap finds Rainbow as well. Looks like the Hawks are looking to rally this round in their favor as it's just the KJ left with a lockdown. Oh wait, no, Cypher's still standing as well. I can read.
Hawks manage to actually get...
1 enemy remaining.
What?
I was going to say they managed to get a relatively fortunate rotation over toward B. Only had 1 left and managed to take them out at an awkward angle, so...
Oh, please check your angles. We saw a slight one, but you are... Just take it out, Soren. Just give it a minute. There you go. I mean, Secret's getting you from long is a little different. I was more expecting the Omen, but the Omen was just waiting, playing patiently. And here's the first one from Crunchwrap. We don't see the second, but we see Secrets take out that final kill on Soren. And now we're at 11-9, 4 ults to 3 ults. It's been a minute since we've seen one popped, I think. Actually, a couple rounds.
Yeah, everyone's kind of been storing them for a rainy day, and, well, the time to do it is now, because this is the last chance the Mammoths are going to have to potentially win this outside of overtime.
Okay, let's get set up.
Ah, yes, overtime, my frenemy.
You are powerless.
Teams are going to start off with the KO ult being popped, and they're going to charge right through Fish Market. There's 1 left on point for the Mammoths. He gets taken out, so now the door is wide open for the Hawks.
Neuro Theft goes down, and Sagi finds Jaguar. Sagi finds Moonkeeper. Crunchwrap Supreme rushing in. Mammoths do still have lockdown ready to go. So we have
Asagi.
Dang, with a 3-piece. Will they get the 4th and the 5th? Gonna bait the cage, see if anyone does any damage through it. Bait it quite a few times. Defender is going to drop the KJ lockdown. I think there is just a sliver in the back of B site where someone might be able to stand to live, but they tried to take it out. Oh! So close.
So now it has to definitely go into overtime if the Mammoths want to win.
Oh, look. They're desperate.
Yay, overtime.
But hey, We gave the Mammoths such a tough time for being at match point and throwing a bunch of rounds away in a row, so we'll see if the same applies to the Hawks.
I doubt the Hawks are going to throw away almost 8 rounds in a row, though.
True, but I mean, there's still a few rounds where you can guarantee yourself to have full buys.
Yes, that is for sure. Knives immediately pop by Crunchwrap. Now are we actually going?
Feedback, blocking sight.
I do not trust Crunchwrap in the kitchen ever.
I mean, you might want to trust him with a Vandal because he already has a double. It stares right in the face of the showstopper and goes out with glory, taking out the Rays.
I have no fear.
Okay.
Attackers win.
So the Hawks have won that. The Seer. So that's ties it up, I believe.
Yes, and for those of you watching, if you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, you should definitely join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice as well. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. And just for clarification, it was a show match, so it wasn't really a best of 3. It was a let's see what we can do with forcing you on off rolls and then allowing some team swaps to try and even things out. And with that being said, both teams are actually going to tie it up in that show match. So it was pretty equal after we allowed people to actually pick the agents they liked. And we didn't get to see any shenanigans for the most part on Ascent there, except for Crunchwrap. I'm going to question your kitchen skills for the remainder of the evening.
Hey, but I think he redeemed himself, too. I mean,
yes.
the way he faced down that Raze was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah,
so.
it's like, do it. I already killed a couple people, but do it. With that being said, we are going to jump to a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back with a winner-take-all between the Stingrays and the Barracudas. So don't go anywhere, and we'll be back here in just a few minutes.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
You take really strong players from disparate communities and you put them together on teams with expert coaching.
So you mean to tell me by all the hands in the room, everybody in here is that top 2%?
It's ultimate. It's a 1v1. It proceeds to the last moment.
It's not every day that you're a kid like me and you get to have this experience.
Something. It gets one.
This boot camp is really about finding out every weakness.
There's no such thing as a big mistake at this level.
I have people in the crowd there cheering my name on. I have to give them a show.
That feeling of just being up on stage and having a whole crowd of people, it's unbeatable.
1v1, but... Oh, why would you pick him?
I love this. I want to do this every day.
You didn't make a choice, so you were just looking at things.
If you want to go pro, sometimes you have to make sacrifices.
Jump up and down, you're a crowd, you're casters. It's a transformational experience.
That was a light switch, and now I see what it's all about.
A lot of players here right now are caught up in winning their tournaments 5-10 years down the road. They're not going to remember who won.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to the Boise State Esports Arena for our Esports Tower Valorant Winter Rumble. We're about to jump into a winner-take-all match between the Barracudas and the Stingrays. I'm still your host, Artie Rain, joined on desk by Jacob Palmer. All right, so as far as I'm aware, it's standard teams, no requests of anyone mixing things up and being forced off their comfort agents. With that being said, I'm not asking for a prediction, but we're going into Haven. What agents do you think we might see?
Ooh, with Haven, I mean, normally if you have a good Sova, you can clear out those points instantly if the dart is placed well, but that's going to require some massive lineups since you're not going to be getting any of those darts into the points via normal methods. So we might see that. Sometimes we do see a chamber. If you want to take C out of the equation entirely, you get a good sniper on there, and that's just how it goes.
Yeah, and the standard of, B point stops existing tends to start happening, but we have seen some teams here in Esports Tower decide that B point is the only point. So I'm interested to see what they choose in order to either deny B point altogether or to allow them to take B point. So it's going to be who starts on defense and who starts on offense and what team lineups we see as far as the agents go that really is going to decide whether or not B point is just no longer an option. Of course, we'll have to wait and see, but before we jump into that, of course, we have important advice coming in the form of Doc's keys to the game presented today by Esports Tower. For Valorant, those keys are flank effectively, spend and peek wisely, count cards, call abilities, and click head. Score pro advice at esportstower.com where you can improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. As I mentioned earlier, this is a winner-take-all one-game series. So, are we going to see a quick 0-12? Are we going to see a 12-2 and then turn into a 12-8? I don't know, but a quick shout out to Vitamin Shop. Scan the QR code now to see all of the amazing offers that Vitamin Shop has. Thank you so much, Vitamin Shop, for being here to help us today.
Sunny Lee, we also are told, is going to be on the Barracudas. Has really kind of been improving his agent skills. Started out as kind of a Cypher main, but as you get up in the levels, being a one-trick isn't going to cut it. So he's, been branching out.
I'm a one-trick pony.
Okay.
I play Sage. I don't care what map it is. You get Sage. I'm kind of joking because sometimes you can get me to play Brimstone. Sometimes you can get me to play Sky. But that's about it. That's the extent of my creativity.
I'll play Brimstone. I'll smoke out the standard points.
I'll give you a stimmy. That's about it.
Wow, look at all the ghosts on the side of the Stingrays.
I'm here for it. Though, I'll be honest, a part of me was hoping to see a bunch of frenzies and just a rush onto B point.
But you're going to get one frenzy out of the 10. Everyone else is a ghost.
I appreciate you, Moon. Oh, that is a lot of people pushing forward onto Rezkin. I think they definitely recognized there was more than just one or two, because we have a split push between Sewer and A main. But a pinch is slowly coming out here. Crunchwrap is going to use both Hawks, find one. And we do see the second was very low, but Hydra Dark is going to manage to take down Crunchwrap Supreme.
Oh my goodness, Hydra. He's trying to bring this back all by himself. Now the spike is down, so might not be able to get, kind of a traditional clear, traditional win.
Too. This is going to be interesting because Hydra has 18 health. Good luck.
I mean, no.
Oh.
I thought for a moment.
Yikes. I wonder if we're going to see that in the replay.
We probably are. Because we're going to see, the amazing run that he had up until this point. Now the Stingrays leading 1-0. They can now go into their first gun purchases. Most of them are going to be opting for the Spectre.
Spectre, it looked like we had one Ghost still. I'm not sure what the last pick was.
Okay. Just fire right through the wave. Don't get intimidated at all. I like it.
Was there any zigzagging? Was there serpentine movement there? Or were you just walking in the straight line? Oh, yikers. We just had Crunchwrap flash Rainbow. So Rainbow had to actually back off. That's a little rough. 2 go down. Nitron finds 1. Rainbow finds 2. Now it is just Jabe left standing.
And a flawless brought out by the Stingrays. You can say that isn't too far unexpected there. They did have a huge gun advantage. So we'll see how they do now that they go into their bonus round, attempting a bonus with 3 Spectres. Just about everything here, just standard play with the Spectres outgunning the Classics. We actually do see 1 rifle brought out.
Here.
The Stingrays have actually gone for a full purchase here. They are not... Oh, no, they're still bonusing, excuse me.
Okay, good. I was about to get very worried.
Yeah, no, sorry, I got my wires crossed there. No, it's Barracudas who have all the ARs.
Woo! Moonkeeper with the doo-doo-doo gun. Can you get the doo-doo-doo boost?
No.
Well, Master found Crunchwrap,
I mean,
so...
he does get it.
This is gonna get a little sticky.
Tries to do a jump peek, another one, baits out a few shots, and that's nice coordination between the Cypher. Soren, beautifully played.
Spike planted.
My rule of thumb, if there's a Cypher locked on a site, you just don't go there. The Cypher cage is so difficult to deal with.
We'll see if that rule of thumb sticks true because Soren has moved on to C. We'll see if he can retake it.
Last player standing.
Oh, I thought he might. I mean, all things considered, for a bonus round, taking 3 of the Barracudas out is not bad at all for the Stingrays.
Definitely, it will shake their economy up just a tiny bit, but not so much like the 2008 crash. Now, as we go into round 4, we have Stingrays possibly looking at full buys here. I believe they will be.
That
yes.
goes there. Yes, this should do. This
Why
goes
would
here.
you put 2 tripwires that are on the ground that someone can easily jump over?
I don't know. You'd be surprised how many people don't jump.
That's valid.
Dog thrown out by Crunchwrap Supreme is gonna get some chip damage against one of them.
I saw 2, and they're still choosing to post up here in sewers. They are not scared. They are not shaking in their boots. However, the other team is, and they have chosen to back off.
Spike dropped.
Setting up some smokes for a possible push onto B, but most of the Barracudas are moving toward A.
Oh, I hate that ult with a burning passion. Oh. Crunchwrap was just faced with a wall. That was a rough situation for Crunchwrap for sure.
Soren uses 2 cages at the same time to just
I like that.
create like an elevator shaft for himself.
I'm gonna steal that if I ever end up playing Cypher. The key term there being if.
I might just sell you on it.
I don't know. The bald man scares me.
It's all situation of if you can get yourself in a position where you can use that ability, because often you can't.
Let's deliver another blow.
All right, Nightfall, Astral Wall, and Omen Ultimate for the Stingrays on line. So it's 2-1 ult advantage, favoring Stingrays. They're up by 2 so far.
That goes there. Yes, this should do.
Lots of utility from
This
Soren.
goes here.
Hey, I like that placement a little more.
We head into round number 5. Barracuda's once again trying to get the push onto A. They've been favoring that point most of the time, but only one time it's worked out.
Hunt's immediately destroyed. Hawk gets dropped. Blinds 1 or 2, and the corner peek was delayed the second time. Going to throw Wolf out. Hopefully they saw the 3 that were in their line of sight, possibly realizing there was a 4th. Crunchtrap finds Moonkeeper. Lots of smokes coming out. We have healing up, but you're kind of in line of sight for 1, and the 1 was Master. They take him out. Trying to jump over the damage was Hydra. They're going to take out Harbor.
That was death by ankles.
And down to the Shadow Realm. City Lee gets pulled by the ankles.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, this was some great prediction from Crunchtrap Supreme. And you know what? I gotta say, one thing that helped him out in this situation was the Phantom, because he's so close range that he can spray with that, and the cluster is much better than the Vandal. So there are situations where you use the Phantom.
Yes. Not that I am just a Phantom enjoyer, because I am horrible at controlling any sort of chaos that happens with the Vandal or anything. I try, but I am very unsuccessful. Reskin inside sewer, gonna lurk here with the Sheriff.
Exchanging a few glances back and forth. Everything's pretty smoked off now, so that's keeping the Barracudas at bay for now. Barracudas, unlike a lot of their previous rounds where they all kind of grouped up around 1 point, they're pretty evenly split between all 3.
Time to hunt.
We have Crunchtrap as opposed to holding C point, well A point, choosing to hold B here. 2 look through window, there was 3. Crunchtrap's gonna throw a blind and just try and back off. The Cabbages are released, Seekers are out, Hawk goes out as well, but is stalled up against a wall, I think.
Oh my goodness.
There's someone right behind you.
Well, that didn't work out, but Prowler thrown through the smoke. They're going to try to walk through it. And they just run into a room of pain.
Crunchtrap got a little overzealous, but the rest of the team definitely played their hands wisely. Now we've got Master with 30 health. The spike is right in front of them, but there's 2 people posted up with a crossfire looking right at it. Stimmy goes down, and so does Master.
With the Classic, no less. He had a Phantom, but he chose to make the statement with the Classic.
Sometimes you just gotta flex. Oh, this was the you didn't look behind you moment. Yeah, happens to the best of us.
But this was, I mean, both of these angles were pretty well held down by Soren and Rainbow. Being a tag team to the left and right now puts the Stingrays in a 4-round lead.
Shutting them down.
That's initially thrown out, catches out 4 of them.
Oh, that was quite nice.
It's their standard grouping location, and, you know, the Stingrays called him out on it, and basically was able to dial the whole team down, especially with Jabe actually being sighted here on C. They should now know where all of the team is. The only one moving out of that position is this Brimstone up through Garage, but he's going to get spotted out by Soren.
Does take out the tripwire. And we did have this Astra do a decent amount of damage onto Chamber. You can see how low Chamber's health is. And Astra didn't take a single bullet at all. Just some pepper fire from Hydra on that Sheriff into the smoke. Doesn't find anything either. Now Jabe helping to find Crunchtrap. Doesn't. Crunchtrap now under 50 health is going to use the Wolf. See if they can spot anybody out. They are going to find Harbor inside of that window towards B. They're going to Hawk and see if they can prevent anyone from pushing into them. I think that was a Marshall shot. Crunchtrap's the only one with missing health right now, but their teammates go down. Moonkeeper picking up a 2-piece with that Sheriff.
30 seconds left.
Oh, doesn't check the angle. Soren's hiding out and he ambushes him.
Check your angles, people.
Flashbang.
I think you were saying that Cypher cage was a bit troublesome to deal with. And we kind of see an example of that.
Yeah, case in point right there. And there it is.
I really got his, hand it out to Soren. It's not often that we see, if he's not top frag, I would probably say, he's in second place. I mean, he's been doing work here on this Cypher.
You
Here
want
he
to
goes.
play? Let's play.
Barracuda's trying to turn things around with the tour de force. Opened up. And they're both kind of playing a game of chicken on C.
Well, I mean, you know that the Chamber's most likely looking down C long. You post one person up there just to kind of be a body to force him back. But they posted two. Soren was there too. Oh. Oh, yikes.
Hydra's going to pick up that op, move on toward A point. Successful plant for the Barracudas.
Drop the op.
Drops it.
You have
Had
one
second
already.
thoughts.
You have one already. It's okay. I forgive you. It's understandable. Nope, they pick it back up. Whoa, Soren. You doing it again?
Oh, he's doing the elevator shaft. Oh, it doesn't work out.
Sunny Lee picks up 3, pseudo 4 if they actually decide to just spray down Rainbow here. Crunchtrap is AFK.
Oh, no.
Possibly connection problems. Mom has to go do laundry. It happens. We might have an instance of a gracious pause here, but pausing is sometimes acceptable, sometimes not.
I got to say that almost feels worse. Like you're looking for a win to kind of put a bit of momentum behind your team, and then when you realize that win was caused by an AFK, you're like, well, now I don't feel any better.
Yeah, it's like, I'll take it. And it looks like, yes, we are going to take a quick pause, and the pause immediately turned off. So, yeah, I think there is some debate between the teams as to what should be happening here. I think possibly coach is going to jump in and be like, yo, give me a minute, let me figure this out. And with that being said, I mean, technology is not always our friend.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, my phone broke. I'm now using my mother's hand-me-down for reference.
Oh. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. I appreciate my mom giving up her phone for me.
That is nice. We are back.
Right there.
I was gonna say, I now that all of these jellyfish.
Are you kidding me?
No!
Are you kidding? No! What was? Nobody checked the angle.
One enemy remaining.
Not one.
For shame. Ouch.
I have no words. Doc, can we add
1,
the key of check your corners?
2, 3, 4. I mean, he didn't even check it. He didn't even have his gun out at this point. He was walking through with the knife.
Nobody looked. 5 people, and no one decided to look right.
Because no one ever hides there on defense. It's not like that's one of the most common angles to hold.
Never. All the keys. All the keys now just need to be check your angles. I can't believe no one looked.
Well, Nerdy is having an existential crisis. I'll take the reins on this round. Crunchtrap Supreme slowly moving up through lobby, immediately takes out Hydra, spots some people around the corner, gets another headshot. The Hawk is out again. There's only one left. It's Moonkeeper. Dog goes out through, is going to tell him where he is. And another flawless secured for the Stingrays.
I just can't. My brain is still busted.
I mean, I don't want to call things out, but I think the round is probably over.
It is.
At the point where they just all charged through C was the moment that I think this game was lost.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. Sometimes your mental is just gonzo. Case in point, me right now. And you just got to reset the mental. Like, the question is, are they going to make the same mistake twice?
I don't know. We'll have to see. Stingrays starting off this round, kind of pinching in from all sides against the Barracudas. Immediately, Crunchwrap Supreme gets a pick onto Master.
Crunchwrap, chill.
He is not going to be stopping in any sense. Gets a triple. He's doing the opposite of chilling right now. Jabe is the only one left. This point is trying to get away. The Stingrays can just hold sight on Spike. Crunchwrap gets his fourth. And a flawless yet again.
Crunchwrap, I'm leaning in on you for player of the game.
It's going to be a swap over. Didn't even realize that was the half round, mainly because no one used their ultimates that round.
Like I said, they're saving them for Valorant too. Maybe by then we won't be able to have enough agents for people to lurk at a corner that no one stares at.
That's a start. Oh man, I just...
Good corgi. Save Wide Joy. Bring me back Wide Joy.
I don't think, I think the corgi is the only ray of sunshine at this point.
I mean, it's Crunchwrap's corgi, so...
See, that corgi knows to check all the angles. It's looking back and forth. See, when even the corgi knows...
Check your angles, people. You heard it here first, apparently. Crunchwrap just goes hippity-hoppity straight through towards Sewer. Headhunter from Jabe, I think, did do a little bit of damage on the Omen. Yes. Suni Lee and Jabe posted up, ready for Crunchwrap to peek through, but Crunchwrap took no damage again and instead finds Jabe. The blind goes out. Suni Lee under half health. We have two members of the Barracudas also under half health. Master just comes in with a shorty and clutches up Rainbow.
That was the most casual walk into point I've ever seen with such a short-range weapon.
Master didn't do it once, but they did it twice. No, we have Stingrays closing out that round, bringing their score up to 11.
That was probably the one oversight I saw from the Stingrays, is just how easily it walked into the point with that shorty. Stingrays now just two away from wrapping this all up.
We're not placing any bets on it being a quick two-round sweep because of what we experienced earlier today.
Wall's going to be thrown out by the Harbor. Moving back on toward B. Crunchwrap bites off a bit more than they can chew in that point. Just walks right into Jabe.
Jabe taking some poke damage. They get paranoid, down to 53 health. They're going to get pulled in and are vulnerable. Reskin cleans up Jabe, and Suni Lee goes down as well. So now Stingrays posted up to win another round here and put themselves at match point. Oh, yikes. That was a knife out there for Soren. So that's number 2 for this entire broadcast. I'm proud of you guys. The number's been slowly decreasing. Can we get it to 0, though? I'll take 2, though.
I think any bragging rights that they have earned through, having less knives out is probably been thrown away by other incidents that we've seen throughout this broadcast.
Point-blank wall banging a wall for more than 0.2 seconds.
All 5 members walking past C Cubby. A 12-2 lead almost being completely blown. I mean, there are just a few wrinkles in the story, but nothing major. But at least they didn't have their knives out.
Yes. Now we've got an op with light shield spy here coming out from, I believe, the attackers. Yes. Yes. They're looking to close this out quickly. I'm here for it. Does it work? Oh, I don't know. Are they going to give someone else an op? Maybe.
Neutron gets the first pick. Crunchwrap Supreme almost clears out C entirely, but some trades back and forth leave it at 3 apiece.
I appreciate that there was an attempt to clear out Cubby. It was unsuccessful by Crunchwrap, but the follow-up was there. It didn't take all 5 members walking past and then turning back around. Improvement.
Spike planted.
Oof. Stingrays, very much so in a lot of pain with less than 50 health on both members. Barracudas, Chamber and KO. Decently living.
Last player standing.
Rainbow takes out Jade. That leaves just one team member away from Stingray's victory. It is Moonkeeper, but he gets flanked from the side. That's going to be a victory for Stingrays.
Yes, and if for those of you watching, you're interested in being seen by expert college recruiters or talking directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers, then you should join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with their featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notes as well. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but we have one pseudo-task, because we just get to give suggestions, of course. But it's the player of the game.
I think it has to be the resident cabbage merchant, Crunchwrap Supreme. I mean, he was on fire for that last round.
I'm glad that we both agree, because my vote goes to Crunchwrap as well. Ultimately, we are just giving suggestions. It is up to production who gets it. There were some clutch moments all throughout the evening, but really, Crunchwrap, a lot of it shined on you. So my vote and Jacob's vote is going towards you. We'll have to see who production decides on. If it is completely someone else, if it is a Doc's key of check your corners, I would also understand. With that being said, we'll see who our player of the game is. It is going to be Jaguar. Tonight's player of the game is brought to you by Esports Tower. If you want to hone your skills and improve, you have what it takes to play at the next level. Head over to esportstower.com and sign up to be a part of the action. Jaguar is the Esports Tower player of the game. I mean, it's also a valid pick.
Yeah, Jaguar was insane on Icebox and also had this key turnaround moment earlier in the game that required an incredible flick. He had to take a 2-on-1 in both mid and off to the left in B here. You can just see how quickly he reacts to this. Gets a headshot on one and immediately just swings over, gets the headshot. That's when he earned it.
As we prepare to close out this match, this Valorant broadcast as a whole, do you have any key takeaways?
Well, I mean, I think we've drilled the points home enough, in terms of what to improve. I mean, I just, check those common angles. That's all I can say.
I second that. Nonetheless, congratulations to the Mammoths and the Stingrays on picking up their wins tonight, and all the teams for a fantastic rumble. The role swaps to make tonight's kickoff were very exciting, to say the least. It definitely kept players on their toes. Interested to see how things go next week. With that being said, make sure you tune in on Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to make sure you don't miss any of our Esports Tower Valorant Rumble action. And we're going to close out with our top 5 plays of the game, brought to you today by the Esports Tower. Want to improve your game and take your skills to the next level? Sign-ups are now available for the Esports Tower League. Join the free starter club for Rocket League and start improving your skills today. Head over to esportstower.com for more info. From all of us here at Boise State, thanks, have a great night, and we'll see you later.
It's a Sagi, so Sagi still survives. They're both hanging out under heaven at this point. Oh, that shock dart right down. They know where they are. And it's going to take out a Sagi. Big brain play.
Sunny Lee with the pop splash, and their face goes down.
As well as both the ultimates, actually, from the Mammoths. A whole lot of pressure on the Hawks. Crunchwrap Supreme, meanwhile, is just hanging behind Yellow. Going to try to catch the defuser. A whole lot of spray and one op shot to stop him.
First hit from the Mammoths going up as Spike was planted.
Mammoths in a comfortable defending position as Jaguar takes a big flank and knife start for good measure. I guess.
Sagi, Moonkeeper, who's going to win? It's going to be Usagi. So we have Neuro Theft get popped for the side of the Mammoths. How's that out work, Nazorin?
Player standing.
Well, he just decided to pick up a Vandal at the last moment and take. Yeah, okay, he'll survive.
I do not trust Crunchwrap in the kitchen, ever.
I mean, you might want to trust him with a Vandal because he already has a double. It stares right in the face of the showstopper and goes out with